Yeah, fellas and fillettes, guys, gals, men, women, hunks and chicks. Anyway, it's Saturday. I remember the other day I told you I'd probably do a video on Saturday about the oh, by the way, I'm wearing my Leave It to Beaver shirt today. Gee, that's swell. You know, better times, right? Right now, today is a little bit better times for me because my poison ivy is diminishing. And my arms are getting better. They're not completely well, but they're almost there. In my midsection, my torso and my legs still got a few issues, but it's on the way out, so that's good. But you know, back in Leave It to Beaver days, back in the old days, you know, those were good days. Not like today. These are not good days. But anyway, so talked about the other day about doing some overviews on communications and radios. So I'm not going to be able to do a video or two today, but tomorrow I will have it set up, and I will do some videos tomorrow and try to get those uploaded. Those will be either all uploaded tomorrow, or they will be uploaded tomorrow and the next day. But by the way, I got to have some coffee, right? This is my sailing ship coffee mug. So there's a old sailing ship on there. I like those old sailing ships. But back in those days, that's a crapshoot ride across to the new world, you know. Because you know, things just weren't the same then, you know, navigating and so forth. And not every ship was built real good, I imagine. Anyway, where was I? I was talking about these radios. So I got a couple of different radios in my stash here, and I'm going to go over those radios a little bit, and I'm going to go over antennas. The small Baofeng radios that I have, a friend of mine who's into ham radio, he programmed them for me, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that to you tomorrow, although I can't tell you how to do all that stuff because I haven't gone in and studied ham radio, because there's in my area there's just nobody around, for one. And another thing is that they constantly hound you to get these licenses to talk over the air, you know. I mean, it should be like CB, pretty much, you know. They shouldn't be charging you to talk over the air, okay? Now, but that's not the worst part of it. The worst part is they want to get all of your information, and then they post it online. Well, I've had my identity stolen a couple of times, and people making up fake checks and all that. I mean, it was a total mess. You know, you gotta get lawyers, and you gotta contact credit agencies and all that stuff. And people want their privacy anyway, you know. And people love being me, I guess. So anyway, I don't like that part of the ham radio crowd where you have to like give your name, address, phone number, firstborn, and all that stuff. No. You know, it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't have to give all that information. You know, say, okay, I'll take a course. I know what I'm doing. I know the protocols, what have you. Um, I'll pay you for the number, you know, right? But you don't need to know who I am. I'll just use the number when I call on the radio, right? But you'd get way more people involved in ham radio if you got out of the business of being in everybody's business. So, no, I'm not a licensed ham radio operator. Don't care about that. Got a lot of old guys that been in it for donkey's years that, you know, they're all about the rules and regulations and whatnot. I mean, if they revamped all that to make it more friendly towards modern times where people have privacy issues, you know, and they got away from all of that intrusive stuff, right, to have a license, they would have way more people into ham. Right now you got a lot of rogue guys in the ham that are learning stuff on their own simply because they're like me, they don't want their privacy invaded, right? And those old timers or people that just are led around easily by their nose, they don't like that. And some people will probably unsubscribe to me just because I'm saying these things. But you know, the thing is that, you know, people have a right to their privacy. And you know, too many things in the world are too intrusive into people's lives. You know, we got cameras on every corner in some cities. Some cities you can't walk 10 to 15 feet down the street without there being a camera somewhere. You know, I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, it's George Orwell gone wild. You know, that's what it is. George Orwell gone wild. So, a lot of people do not like that. I, for one, am one of them. I don't like that stuff. I'm here on YouTube, right? I'm here on YouTube. I'm talking to you. I think it's important that I talk to you. There's a lot of things that I have to say, and I like to try to help people. I don't help people because it's helping me get to heaven. I just want to make that point clear, because a lot of you guys probably know right now I'm a Christian, but I'm a faith-based Christian. You know, you don't work your way to heaven. You don't. It's not a works-based thing. You don't work to get to heaven. Jesus went to the crucifixion and paid the price for my sin and your sin. And I do good deeds, especially in these last few years where I've turned myself over a new leaf and tried to be a better person. You know, I've been a decent person most of my life. I've had my ups and downs like most people. Sometimes you get off of the path and get down the wrong path for a little ways, and then you get navigation. You get back on the right path, the right course, right? But I do good things because I want to do good things, not because I have to do good things. See, that's the difference between a works-based Christian and a faith-based Christian. Works-based, okay, somebody who calls themselves a Christian and it's works-based, okay, you think that all as many good works as you can do to get to heaven, you know, you can't do enough good works to get to heaven. You'll never be clean enough. You're only clean enough to get back into the Father's house by the blood sacrifice of Jesus. Okay, Jesus. That is the key. Jesus' blood sacrifice is what paid for our sin. We cannot do works to get back into the Father's house. You just can't. You can't never do enough works. No matter how many good things you do in life, or as you can be as good as gold in life, that you will not go home to the Father's house without Jesus washing your sins away through His sacrifice. You won't. Because no matter how good you are, there will always be a black speck on your soul, and you will not get through that door. It's a narrow path. It's not a wide path. It's a narrow path. It's only through Jesus. Nobody could say that their way is the same or equal to. Okay, they can't. Everything else is false. It's all a deception to take you away from the true course for you reuniting with our Father. Everything else is a deception because the devil wants to take as many people with him to the lake of fire as he can, just out of spite. Okay? He doesn't care about you. The devil don't care about you. He'll promise you everything in this world. A lot of people suffer in this world, and people blame God for their suffering. But it ain't God that's having you suffer. It's the devil. The devil is making you suffer. And only good comes from God, not evil. All evil comes from the devil. We're in this lifetime. This is like a crucible. This is where we are tested. It's some, this poison ivy, for instance, man. This is a test of my willpower. Sometimes I just want to scratch. But I shouldn't. And the poison ivy. I've only got about 3 minutes left. The poison ivy rash, even though I'm not contagious anymore, in the first couple days you're contagious, but I'm not contagious anymore, and it's on the way out, and there's still a rash, and I still feel itchy. The rash gets hot. Okay, the rash gets hot, and at nighttime when I'm trying to sleep, it can get unbearable. I have to have that fan blowing right on me, and I have to move around a lot. But I was thinking yesterday or the day before, I thought how miserable I am. This rash is so hot. It's so hot that I feel this tingly, prickly, itchy sensation on my skin and stuff. I think about how hot the hellfire is, the lake of fire. I think about how hot is this compared to that? This is nothing. I don't want to experience that, and I don't want you guys to experience it either. So, I got about 1.5 minutes left, so I'm going to shut this timer off. So what am I doing today? Since I don't have the time to put into the radios today, but I will tomorrow. Okay, just letting you know I'm not leaving you hanging. Tomorrow we'll do some radio videos for the Minuteman series. But today I got to work on my field. I got to pull some weeds. I like to pull weeds around my beans, and I got to put some dirt. I use buckets, big buckets, basically, for my potatoes. And I got to add dirt to those. But I got to get out and do some weed pulling today. But guys, I hope that this was a decent video for you, and I hope you don't click off, and I hope you don't unsubscribe. Although I've had about 5 people unsubscribe in the last week or so. But, you're going to have whiners in every bunch. Hope the rest of your day is good. We'll see you tomorrow.